All right, everyone, for my first project, you're going to need a Dollar Tree block, wood block of some kind. This one actually came from Hobby Lobby, but you can pick these up sometimes in the Crafter Square section. You also want to grab one of these oversized bells and one of these Dollar Tree trays. For the first part, I'm going to go ahead and remove all of these top kind of glittery, sparkly parts off of the top of the tree. You can put those in your junk box if you want and save those for another project. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take my wood block and just position it on my tray. I want to make the bell hang kind of in the center of the tray on the block itself. So I'm going to kind of eyeball this and figure out the best placement for everything. Then I'm going to add a generous amount of hot glue onto the wood block and just glue that directly down onto the tray. If you are in a warmer climate, I would suggest maybe using an E6000 or Shore Bonder or even a super glue. Either one of those should work perfectly fine for this. I had to pull out the baby glue gun because my big glue gun kind of burned up on me, so I have a replacement coming. Once the block is set up and positioned in the right space, then you're going to go ahead and glue the bell, and also you can nail that bell on that block if you want to, because it does have that opening at the front. I took everything outside and I'm going to give it a coat of black spray paint. I'm using a flat black spray paint from Rust-Oleum. And then while this is still wet, I am going to go over top of it with a dark steel spray paint as well. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want the black to just have a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of that aged look. So as you can see here, it almost completely makes it look silver or like that dark steel color again. But that's okay, because before this all dries, you're going to do one more coat and you'll reverse the coat. So when you do the second coat, do your silver and then do your black on top. Now, once you've got everything dry, go ahead and take your twist ties there from Dollar Tree. These are the wreath twist ties, or the, can't say that, twist ties for the garland. You'll see that they wrap around here perfectly fine, and you're going to take 2 or 3 of them. And the idea here is just to cover up that block as much as possible. Now I'm going to take a strip of wide ribbon and go ahead and place it down the center of this. The idea here is to wrap the ribbon around the handle and around the block itself. You kind of want to make the ribbon look like it's what's actually holding up this bell. So hopefully that's making sense. I did add a little bit of hot glue on the tip of that ribbon right where my fingers are. And you'll probably see in about 3 seconds here, I burn myself. And then I'm going to wrap the ribbon around the other side of that and also just hot glue that down and secure it. I kept my florals very minimal on this because of the ribbon and the greenery. I just wanted to keep this simple. I added a Dollar Tree poinsettia to the top here, made sure that that was good and set, and then I did trim those leaves away and just kind of glue those in individually around the floral itself. I think this made it look very just kind of understated and elegant, and I really love the way that this turned out. Now, if this is going to be on the front door, then it's got to have some bells to it, right? And since this Dollar Tree bell did not have bells, I added bells via Dollar Tree and some twine. I took the package of 50 bells that you can pick up and just tied off 5 or 6 of them onto some ends of some twine, kind of like so. And then I took that twine and just fed it through the top of the bell and tied it off in a knot. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. This right now is hanging on an inside door in my house. But again, I love this so much. I think the detail on this is fantastic. And I love just how simple it is. I did take it outside and I put it on the front door. And again, I think it's super cute on the front door. A great thing is that you could also hang it on the side next to your front door. And it gives an alternative way for somebody to ring your doorbell. All right, you guys, so you know that moment right before the holidays when you swear you've got everything handled and then suddenly, boom, your car battery dies, or you realize you still need to buy gifts for like 3 more people. Well, yeah, that is definitely me, and I wanted to introduce you to our sponsor today, Clover. Now, I didn't want to dip into my savings or mess with any high-interest credit cards just to get by until payday, and that's when I remembered Clover. Clover is an app that lets you access up to $400 before payday with no credit check, no interest, and no late fees. Let me say that again. No credit check, no interest, no late fees. Now, what I love the most is how transparent it is. There is no membership fee. There's no interest fee. There's no hidden charges, just a small express transfer fee if you want your money instantly. Otherwise, you can wait a couple days and get it for completely free. Now, to take that quick advance It gave me so much breathing room to cover my holiday expenses without stressing or borrowing money from anyone. And it honestly brought a little peace of mind back into my week. Now, knowing Clover isn't a payday loan, it's earned wage access, makes a huge, huge difference because it's fair, it's simple, and it's built to actually help people instead of trapping them with all of these miscellaneous fees. Now, if you could use a little extra cash this season, definitely check out Clover. Once again, you can access up to $400 with no credit check or late fees. Just click on the link in my description box to sign up. And of course, let them know that I sent you. And then, we always have to have some of that little fine print here. Now, not all users are going to qualify. Advances are going to range anywhere from $25 up to $400. Average advances are about $160 and express transfer fees may apply. But let's get back to the video and more fun. And for my next project, you're going to need one of these paper cones from Michaels. You're also going to need a bunch of jingle bells. Now, I picked up 7 or 8 packages, and you'll notice that in the packages that they sell at Dollar Tree, there's a 50-piece package and there's a 32-piece package. Depending on the size bells you want, you can go with either one. I actually ended up using a variety of sizes, so either one works. Also, I got my hot glue gun back because guess what? You're going to need a ton of hot glue for this particular project. So get your glue guns and glue sticks ready and let's start gluing. Now, if you wanted to pre-paint your cone, you certainly could. I chose not to because the kind of cardboard color is kind of similar to the muted gold color, and you're really not going to see it once you do start decorating this up. And you'll see the bells actually fit pretty snug on this, and I think the glue actually helps kind of mute that cardboard out a lot. But again, you're just going to start gluing bells. Like there's nothing really much else to this. You're going to glue a lot of jingle bells and you're going to work your way all the way around. What I did was I used the larger size and I kind of worked up until I got to a point where the larger sizes could not complete a full circle. And I had to fill in with some smaller ones to kind of close the gap. And then once I did that, I started reversing it, or started switching it rather, and started going with the smaller size bells and then just literally working myself not working myself up, but working my way up the cone until I was completely covered at the tip with jingle bells. And this is what it looks like when it's all done. I love this so much. This is a great addition to my Christmas decor. I'd actually like to do 3 or 4 of these in different sizes. I think that would be amazing to have a collection of jingle bell trees. All right, everyone, and for my next DIY, we're going to be making a Christmas tree stand. We're going to start by using one of these wood crates from Dollar Tree. Use some of these wood skewers. We're going to use a paint stick and then also some of these LED tree lights from Dollar Tree. First, we're going to take 2 of our bamboo skewers and we're going to trim those down. I'm using my lineman pliers. I'll link these below in the description box. These are the best thing in the world for cutting down flowers, for cutting down wood. I love these so much. So add a generous amount of hot glue in the corners and then just glue your sticks down like so. Once everything is dry, you're going to go ahead and just flip your crate around and you're going to take one of the paint sticks and you're going to measure that out with just a pencil. And you want to trim this down to where it is the same width as those 2 skewers at the top. To trim my paint stick, I'm just going to use my scissors. I have a pretty heavy-duty pair of scissors here, and it cuts through this pretty easily. You can snip through that and then just simply glue that to the top of the Christmas tree stand and let that dry really well before moving on to the next step. Once everything is dry, you're going to add some antiquing wax to your crate and to the sign. You could certainly paint this white if you wanted to. I wanted mine to just kind of be a little more rustic looking. I love using antiquing wax in the form of stain. And what I do is I put it on with a cloth, kind of like you see here, and then I just wipe it and rub it in. What I love about that is it really gives a lot of good detail to the wood, and it kind of highlights it in different ways, in different colors. It makes it look like it's super rustic and just has been sitting out in the woods, and you're stumbling upon this Christmas tree stand in the middle of nowhere. I had some Dollar Tree wood letters and I'm going to take my Arteza acrylic paint pen here and just color these in. You could certainly use chalk paint if you wanted to. I love the way that these work. They're super easy, very simple to use. You're just literally coloring in each one of those letters to spell out the word tree. And then I'll take another one and a flat circle that I have, just a wood circle, and I'm going to paint that white. And my trees are going to be $5 each. What can I say? It's been a tough year. We all need a break, right? I added a simple black and white gingham bow to the top of my $5 sign just to give it a little bit of interest. I also added some raffia inside my crate to help protect those trees as they are on their way to the Christmas tree lot. And here it is. It's all done. I love the way that this looks. It turned out so cute, and it puts off the right amount of light when you turn the lights off. I love the way that this is just very classic, very country Christmas. It reminds me of my family, and I'm so looking forward to celebrating the season with them this year. And for my last DIY, we're going to be using these ornament packages that I picked up at Walmart. I love these because they're a 5-pack and you could get them for $1.98. Also, we're going to be using some of these wooden beads from Walmart. These wooden beads come in a garland strand, kind of like the red one that you see here. And what's really cool about these is that they're not individually knotted, so you can literally just take a scissors to one end of it and snip it and watch the beads fall. I highly recommend you have a bucket or a pail or a container of some kind to catch all of those beads. Now for my ornaments, I'm going to divide them up into two. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one black ornament and one white ornament, and we're going to join them together. That one extra one you have, just push that aside. You'll see that we use that in a little while. And then because these are actually unfinished on the back side, we're going to glue those together kind of like so. So I would add some twine in the middle of them before you do that, and then I would go ahead and glue them together. And once your glue is dried, go ahead and start stringing your beads onto your twine. You can really do this in any color combination that you'd like. It really is up to you. For that wood tone, I liked that red and white. And then I kept the others neutral, just varying the black and white, the black, white, and brown beads. I really love these and love the way that they look. What's really cool about them is that you'll have that one extra ornament from the black and white set, and you'll have one extra ornament from the brown set. You can join those together and then you'll have 5 ornaments. Okay, one more real quick one. I took some black and white beads and strung them on a piece of buffalo check ribbon, and then I tied this tassel thing kind of at the end of it. Now I'm just going to add a dab of hot glue on the top of his head, and then I'm going to glue those beads and that ribbon directly down right on top of my nutcracker. And when they're all done, this is what they look like. I absolutely love these. I think that they're so perfect. I really love the way that that nutcracker turned out, and I think it's going to be the perfect complement to my Christmas tree. In my office, I decided to have a somewhat neutral tree, and again, super happy with the way that this turned out. I love these, and I hope that you'll go out and grab some of these ornaments and beads and make your own.